London is $2,800, New York City $4,400, and Sydney $3,500 US. This means that living in London on the average salary, you will be spending 75% of your wage on your apartment's rent alone, 68% in New York City and 54% in Sydney, again giving Sydney the easy win here, followed by New York City, then London. For a quick fun novelty index measurement, let's look at the average McDonald's combo meal price, which is usually a decent indicator for seeing how expensive a place is. So New York City is around $9.66, London $8.16, and Sydney $9.12. So next we move on to the environment. Let's look at the average temperature for these three cities. I think it's fair to say that most of the planet, including me, would rather live in a warm or hot place as opposed to a freezing cold place or a place that is too hot. So for this one, there is an obvious winner. London sits at a chilly average temperature of around 11 degrees, New York City around 12.7, and Sydney at a much more pleasing average temperature of 17.7 degrees Celsius. So Sydney is our clear winner here. Another important aspect with regards to environment is the nature that surrounds the city. For this, we'll take a look at whether these cities have beaches, lakes, or mountains. So for beaches, New York City and Sydney. For lakes, London and Sydney. And for mountains, only Sydney has mountains. So again, a clear win for Sydney. For big, populated tourist hotspot cities, pollution and traffic can be a major issue. Whether or not they have a good public transport system plays a big factor in this too. So let's look at the pollution for these three cities. The higher the number here out of 100, the worse that it is. So London scores 59 out of 100, followed by New York City with 57, and then finally Sydney with 29 out of 100. Need we say any more for this one? With Sydney having such a lower population compared to New York City and London, this one is expected. Now let's look at the traffic commute time. So this is the average time to get into the city centre by taxi. So again, the higher here, the worse that it is. So London is 43.81, New York City 43.13, and Sydney 43.29. So this one was unbelievably close, with New York City just pipping Sydney for the win here, and then London just behind. However, they're so close that we can't actually give a winner here. Although London and New York City have a much bigger population, they do have excellent train and taxi services. And finally, we'll take a look at the top 3 things to do in each city according to TripAdvisor. Again, this is quite subjective, so let us know in the comments what you think.